Hi, we are going to continue our Chapter 1, Introduction to International Banking, Part 3, which is about international factors of international banking growth. Okay, so it's quite a long chapter, right? In fact, for factors of international banking growth in your textbooks, we have around 19 factors. Okay, so we are going to check one by one. What are the factors of international banking growth? Okay, so kenapa dan faktor apakah yang menyebabkan international banks growing from time to time? Okay. So, firstly, when conducting a business or any businesses with or establishing operations in a foreign country, so it means that if we are going to set up a business in a foreign country, of course, we are going to also involve banking transactions because it involves money, right? So bank will take into consideration of these two main factors. Okay, the first one, the home country growth prospect and its state of economic, including political and legal developments, as well as the openness and stability of its financial system. So whenever a bank or businesses try to operate in a foreign country, okay, so when they are trying to deal with the banks over there, the banks also will take a look on its original home country's growth prospect, whether they come from a good country with a good economic wealth, okay, a good economic a kind of a good economic stability, political and legal developments. Is it if the country is okay with their rules, if it's a country with a chaos like with a civil war or something, of course it's a kind of risky for them to accept this country to do the business and transactions with them, right? So they must check the home country's growth prospect first, okay? And then the second one, what are the characteristics of the host country, okay, that may give particular banks a competitive advantage. So they are going to check the host or the home country, whether that country have a good a kind of a good competitive advantage for them to deal with, right? So if a country with a good environment or a financial stability, a good social and environmental stability, is a kind of bringing them a competitive advantage as well. Okay, so these two factors normally the banks will take a look. Okay, for example, if this one company comes to your bank and they said they are from Malaysia, okay, one country is from Malaysia, and second country come from Somalia, for example. Okay, so which these two countries would you accept to deal or to do the transactions? So the answer is yours. So I think you do know which country to accept easily, okay, for you to do the businesses or to do the any financial transaction, right? Okay, because it's a kind of important. If you choose the wrong one, right, so it will bring a kind of trouble to you in the future. So we must consider these factors of the home country, whether it is a good and stable country, right? No political chaos and so on. Okay, right? So these are the two main factors. Okay, so we have a few, not a few, kind of a lot of factors, 19 factors, okay, which cause the international banking to grow further and further. So these factors are made from a few studies, okay, a few studies being made on this part. Okay, so we have the first one, which is the growing factor because of one, trade block or agreement. Okay, trade block or agreement. Okay, in bahasa pernah dengar tak what we call blok ataupun blok perdagangan, blok perdagangan. Okay, itu yang dimaksudkan dengan trade block. Okay, blok dekat sini means agreement lah sebenarnya. Right, maksudnya adalah perjanjian ataupun agreement. Okay, so it is a type of, dia kata for trade block ni merupakan type of intergovernmental agreement. Okay, intergovernmental agreement. It means that the agreement is between the governments of at least two countries. Kena ada merupakan perjanjian at least lah antara dua negara yang berbeza lah. Sebab tu we call it intergovernmental agreement. So often a part of regional intergovernmental organisation. Okay, mungkin yang membuat perjanjian adalah sebahagian daripada intergovernmental organisation. So normally yang di Malaysia of course sudah tentunya di bawah kementerian, okay, perdagangan antarabangsa lah, kan. So this is the agreement normally made by them. Okay, where regional barriers to trade in the forms of tariff and non-tariff barriers, okay, are reduced or eliminated among the participating countries. So, when they do this such agreement, what happen is that if there is any tariffs or if there is non-tariff barriers, so the tariff will be whether reduced or eliminated, okay, among these countries. So prior to the agreement, okay, sebelum perjanjian dibuat, maybe trading between, for example, I'll give you one example, between Malaysia and Vietnam. Okay, prior to the agreement, maybe if we import such products from Vietnam, so there are a kind of tariff being charged, right? But after the trade block agreement, the tariff might not be charged at all. Okay, or whether it being reduced or eliminated depends on the agreement. So this is what we call trade block agreement. So perjanjian antara countries yang mana mungkin menghapuskan ataupun mengurangkan kadar tarif ataupun kadar cukai import dan ekspor. Okay. Why it's a kind of important? Because I still remember a few years ago when I ordered a bulk of bags from China, kan? So there is a cost that we have to pay, kan? The cost that we have to pay. The currency as well, kan, between ringgit Malaysia and yen tu dah ada cost dekat situ. And then I think dulu-dulu I've been charged around 60 ringgit. Okay, 60 ringgit for a kind of tariff untuk order the bags untuk bawa masuk ke Malaysia. 60 ringgit tambahan kena charge. Okay, because of the bag tu lagi murah actually. A few bags. Okay, saya order banyak, a bulk of bags. Okay, mungkin satu bag jatuh dalam harga 2 ringgit or something like that, kan? But then the cost is much more. Bila you kena charge on the tariff and so on, the cost is much more maknanya RM60 satu transaction kena charge. Okay, itu tak termasuk lagi the currencies exchange between ringgit Malaysia and also yen China kan. So itu kita katakan a kind of example for one type of transaction. So if you have a lot of transactions, it will cost you more. So it's a kind of good if we could have this trade or block agreement to actually improve the dealings between these countries, right? So let's take a look on the next point. Okay, so however, the restrictions to foreign bank entry have been gradually eased by bilateral or regional trade and investment agreement. Jadi disebabkan ada kekangan tentang tarif itu tadi, okay, kemudiannya timbul ataupun wujudlah trade atau block agreement ini untuk memudahkan lagi urusan antara bank between these countries, okay, especially bila melibatkan hubungan dua hala, okay, between the countries. So this can be in forms of for example, economic and monetary union, okay, economic and monetary union, right? So this economic and monetary union, EMU, okay, EMU, right? Is a kind of agreement between these European countries, perjanjian antara negara Eropah. I think it's being launched around 1992, tahun 1992. Whereby they only using the euro currency as the main currency, menggunakan euro currency, and also between these EMU countries, they also create their own euro trade area. So mereka mencipta satu kawasan perdagangan bebas between the European countries yang enter into this EMU, right? Further followed by also economic union, almost the same. Economic union, persatuan kesatuan ekonomi antara negara-negara Eropah. They also call it EEU or EAU. AEU. So you can actually search this one in Google and check on which countries that actually involved in the economic union. Followed by customs and monetary union. Okay, customs and monetary union. Okay. Also for this is from European countries as well. So customs and monetary union compose a free trade economic integration between these European countries. So perjanjian kesatuan kewangan dan kastam ni, right? Mereka ada tarif dan import kuota mereka yang tersendiri. Okay, mereka kind of sebelum adanya perjanjian custom and monetary union. So after the custom and monetary union being established, mereka kind of abolish the tarif. Mereka hapuskan tarif dan import kuota antara European countries. Okay. And after that, we also have common market like EFTA, EEA, CES. Ini adalah European Free Trade Association, persatuan perjanjian perdagangan bebas antara negara-negara Eropah. Okay, so they make it in between one market, right? Custom union sama saja. Dan di Asia kita ada beberapa jenis multilateral free trade area seperti AFTA. Saya rasa you pernah dengar. Asian Free Trade Area composed of Brunei, Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, Singapore and Thailand, which is being launched around 1995, if not mistaken, 1995, and then a few years later, also followed by Vietnam, Laos, Myanmar, and Cambodia. So we also have our own Asian Free Trade area. Okay.